We're ready.
No pressure.
Alrighty. So I'm going to talk about Popeyes, and you know I threw the little character up there just because of the name Popeye, you know. But I'm going to go into more of the where she was talking about the eyeballs in general. I'm going to talk about where they have actually been popped out of the animal. This is a little dog that's had its eyeball removed, which usually with the exophthalmos, when it happens, they usually just end up getting the eyeball amputated anyways. So the normal breeds that have them is like your Shih Tzus, the Pugs, the Terriers, and the Pekingese. But I've also seen where you have like Australian Shepherds, since they're really bad at herding. I've seen a couple of those, they'll chase tires and then smack up against a tire and their eyeballs popped out.
Unfortunately, there are
Yeah.
dogs that chase cars.
Exactly. You know, the ones that I've seen like that, I've seen 2 or 3 of those. where
On the
they came into
farm,
the
we always
office.
had dogs that chased cars. It was so nerve-wracking. They'd bite the tire of the car as the car was traveling.
Exactly. I've seen one where it broke its jaw, but that's
Oh,
a different
yeah.
situation from this. But the one I'm thinking of mainly, I think the tire smacked the side of his face,
Yep.
and it popped out, just because the whole
Yeah, that
they're
would be
born
trauma.
to
right?
breed, you
are.
know, the herd and whatnot.
Mhm.
But mainly it starts off with, like we were saying earlier, where the dog's eyes are already bulgy, so they don't have a great start, you know, to begin with. And then it doesn't always happen just in dogs too, you know, there's been kittens that have it too, and there's a good one there.
There's a laser pointer right there.
Where you can see kind of both eyeballs on this little guy popped out. And then this dog, his is probably like 2 or 3 days old, whereas this kitten's had it out for like probably a good week or so.
Now on the right there, that kitten, that would definitely, they probably have to remove both of those.
Yeah.
Didn't you say that? I mean,
Yeah. We had one that came in the office too. It was only like a 4-week-old kitten the lady found, walked up on her porch. And its eyeball was actually very similar to this, but since it was only 4 weeks old, we didn't want to do surgery and put it under anesthesia because of the whole age and taking the risk of it dying on this. So we waited a while and just sent her home with antibiotic ointment just to put on the eye to keep it lubricated, just to hold out a little longer. But otherwise,
Now, I have a comment on this. You might say, what owner in their right mind would let that happen? Do you know some of the feral cats and the cats on the farm? You may not see them for weeks. I remember on the farm, we
Yeah.
had this old tomcat. He would be there, and then he'd be gone for like 5 weeks. And then he'd come back, and he'd always be wounded. You know, he'd always have like an ear hanging, because he had been in a lot of fights. And the only reason he came back to the farm was to recuperate, because as soon as he got better, off again he goes.
yeah.
So, you know, you can have a feral cat or a wild cat, and this can happen unbeknownst to you. So don't think it's like always a bad owner. I mean, if it's a house cat, then that's another story. Now, Katie, have you ever seen anything like this?
Yeah, we
Okay.
get a lot of feral kittens that have
Yeah.
the upper respiratory infection, and then the snot goop basically closes their eyes, and then that causes the eyes to swell behind the goop. So we'll like peel it off sometimes, and like the eyes are like popping out as I'm like peeling it off.
And what's the condition they start with again?
Upper respiratory
Upper
infection.
respiratory, okay, yeah.
It's the like.
And then it kind of progresses that way. For feral cats where they're running and maybe can't be caught.
All right.
Anything else?
Nope. that's
Ready
all.
for some more questions, comments? I guess the interesting thing here is, okay, there's cats. Anybody else seen this condition in any other animal?
Turtles are a huge one.
Turtles are a huge problem.
They get run over all the time, so.
Yeah.
Oh, they get run over all the time. You're talking about, okay, trauma then, yeah.
I tried to look up at horses because you know they think they get trauma in the eyes.
Yeah.
It seems like, but I
I've seen
didn't.
it a couple of times in horses, but it's not very,
Yeah.
I've seen a lot.
Not very common in horses. Now, what's the term called when you have to pull the eyeball out and cut it? Enucleation. There you go. That's a good term. Who said that? Okay, enucleation. That's what you call it when you have to remove the eyeball. Enucleation. Could you spell it for us?
Oh, no, I can't spell anything.
Okay. I think it's a E word, isn't it?
Yeah, it's E, but
L-E-A-T-I-O-N.
I couldn't spell sugar.
T-I-O-N.
T-I-O-N. Enucleation, yeah. It's kind of a word you'll never make up, but it's enucleation. And you could have unilateral or bilateral, taking the eyeball out.
Actually, wouldn't this one be the uni and that's the
Yeah, that would be the unilateral, and that
Yeah.
definitely bilateral. Any other comments or questions? Here we go.
What is that collected on the eye of the kitten? I can't really tell what it is.
Okay, what-
Collected
You're
on the-
thinking this part, right?
Yeah.
That's mainly just the eyeball where it's dried up.
It's probably
Kinda-
necrotic tissue,
Necrotic tissue,
cornea,
infection, pus, yeah.
you name it, debris, it's probably a combo. If you took that off, you'd probably find dirt, necrotic tissue, neutrophils, pus, things like that.
Yep.